the distinguished representative of Latvia. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I will deliver a slightly shortened version of my statement, and we will distribute the full one. And first of all, Latvia fully aligns itself with the statement delivered by the European Union. Please allow me to deliver a statement on my national capacity. I would like to start by conveying Latvia's sincere appreciation to the Polish chairpersonship in office for keeping sharp focus of the OSCE on the cause that has shaken the foundations of security architecture in Europe, the unprovoked and unlawful military aggression by the Russian Federation against Ukraine. Russia's war against Ukraine is one of the most critical security challenges in Europe since the World War II. The OSCE was established to prevent and resolve conflicts and to manage crises in Europe. Regrettably, these objectives had been held back as one of its members has so blatantly disregarded and violated international law and all OSCE commitments. It is Russia that has devaluated diplomacy. Use of force and war crimes are not another point of view. Our task is to defend the rules-based international order. Russia must stop its senseless war that has brought immense pain to the people in Ukraine. Until then, we all must continue our support to Ukraine in its ongoing efforts to restore sovereignty and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders. Since the first day of Russia's invasion in Ukraine, Latvia has been doing its utmost to help the people of Ukraine. Latvia's overall support to Ukraine amounts to 0.9% of our GDP, which ranks Latvia among countries which have made the largest contributions. This winter, Ukraine will need more support due to massive Russian attacks against civilians and critical infrastructure. Deliberate killings of civilians, including children, forced deportations, war tactics of torture and sexual violence. Russia is fully accountable for all the war crimes already committed and those which it continues committed in Ukraine at this very moment. Latvia will support all necessary efforts to take the perpetrators to justice. As a strong supporter of the Women, Peace and Security agenda, Latvia also provides psychological and rehabilitation support to women and girls who are victims of gender-based violence and war crimes in Ukraine. Let us not forget that Belarus is helping Russia in its brutal war and remains to be a source of tension in the region. Belarus must take full responsibility for the situation and has to stop inhumane and destabilizing actions, as well as the regime's ongoing repressions against its own people. Madam Chairperson, protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms is an integral part of OSCE agenda. We must respect the dialogue with civil society in the framework of OSCE Human Dimension. Latvia will keep defending media freedom and safety of journalists, not only by words, but in practice. Latvia has been among those member states which initiated the OSCE Moscow mechanism. There is clear evidence of war crimes and human rights violations committed by Russia in Ukraine, as well as grave human rights violations taking place in Russia itself. These findings must be taken to international tribunals to bring perpetrators to justice for crimes committed. Or in other words, as I said in my statement earlier this year in the Permanent Council of 27th February, the Russian war criminals, before going to hell, will go to The Hague. Madam Chairperson, on a practical side, the consistent performance of OSCE depends on qualitative planning of chairmanships. The annual change in the OSCE chairmanship provides an opportunity to address the main challenges and priority areas in a consistent manner. Therefore, Latvia reaffirms its strong support to the long-standing candidacy of Estonia for the OSCE chairmanship in office in 2024. In closing, I would like to welcome North Macedonia as an incoming chairpersonship of the OSCE. Latvia stands by the efforts to protect democratic values of OSCE. There is no alternative to the rules-based international order, which must be preserved. I thank you.
Thank you. I now pass the floor to the next speaker on my list, which is the distinguished representative